A student named Terry, you say? Does he have red hair by any chance? Yes indeed. Do you know him, Professor? Sadly, I'm afraid so. And I just couldn't believe it when I found out he was joining Team Prophecy. It just seems so out of character for him. How so? Terry may look like a brute, but he was actually one of my best students. He knew just as much about Pokemon as I did. And on my ranch, he was a gentle giant. He wouldn't hurt any Pokemon. He was such a big help whenever I was too busy with gym battles. And it broke my heart the day I found out he joined that organization. I don't know what would have led him to do that. Although, I can't say I'm too surprised. I heard his parents were getting a nasty divorce. Maybe that had something to do with it. When I met Terry, he had an Alcamon beside him. A Rubion, I believe it was called. Does he have a license for that? No. Actually, now that I think about it, I haven't seen him around here since he joined Team Prophecy, and that was long before the Sky University Festival. So, I doubt he would have been able to get one. Oh, I am so sorry, I have to take this, it's important. I understand. Thank you for your help, Professor. Interesting. So he didn't have a license. And that Alcamon looked a bit too old to be new. I can tell that he must have had it for some time now. I think I'll arrange a meeting with Sarah, see if she's found anything. And while I'm at it, I'll invite the player as well. Rebelin seems like a good meeting place. Rebelin isn't too far from Sky University, but in order to get there, we're gonna have to go through Route 9. This field land isn't too large, but it does have a lot of trainers that we can challenge if we want to improve ourselves. There's also a handful of Pokemon that we can capture on this route if we want to do some team building. Here's the old, and here's the new. And here's the new that you haven't seen before. This little fella is the Arrow Pokemon, Polydart. It's not that strong and it's barely capable of moving on dry land in its current form. However, its tail is dipped in a dangerous poison, causing its victims to decay in a matter of hours. So be careful if you see this Pokemon in any nearby ponds. Lastly, we have Zintini, the tin Pokemon. Its body, made of tin if you couldn't tell, is capable of generating electricity, which it can use to shock victims from a short distance. Trainers traveling long distances with small electrical devices will often use this Pokemon as a charger. However, the Pokemon cannot yet fully control its electrical abilities and ends up either accidentally shocking people or magnetizing small rocks on its body. All the same, should prove pretty useful if you want to add it to your team, or if you need another Pokemon for the gym in Reveland. Speaking of which, Rebeland used to be a hub for pretty shady activity in this region. However, in our days, it has seen a new leaf. I'll go into more detail about this place in another arc, but for now, just know there's a church in town which we'll need to get to. It's in the town square, so as long as there are no distractions, we can, excuse me? Sorry if I interrupted you with whatever you're doing, but are you that trainer who I faced at the end of the festival? Player, was it? Oh, well, sorry if we got off on the wrong foot. My name is Egon, and I was wondering if you could give me some advice on Pokemon training. I'm not the best, you see. I tried beating the gym leader in this town, and I couldn't really do it. I've never really been good at Pokemon battling, which is why I was wondering if you could give me some advice. You seem to be doing great in my dad's contest, while I don't even think I'll make it to the halfway point.
Advice? Why, I cannot believe what I am hearing!
Oh no.
My boy, Egon, how could you? Taking advice from a competitor? You just graduated to a Pokemon trainer. You're the one who is supposed to win this competition. Don't tell me you need to take advice from this... Oh my goodness, player. I apologize if I didn't recognize you, but unfortunately, even though you are participating, your efforts are in vain. You will not be able to win this contest, simply because my son here, Egon, will be winning the contest. He will claim the Alcemon for his own, as planned, while anything you do will be completely in vain. I can just imagine it now. My son, Egon, and his unstoppable Alcemon taking their place in history as Pokemon League champions. What a better way to advertise Alcemon to the world. Isn't that right, my boy?
Yes, Dad. I'm trying my best, but I'm not good at Pokemon battling. I mean, I'm not even sure I can...
Excuses, my boy. This is what you always wanted. It's your destiny to become the new Pokemon League champion, and here you are struggling against gym leaders. Come on, battle this nobody. Let us see what you have to improve. Come on, Spitspot, let's go.
Okay, Dad. Sorry, player, but I have to do this now. Let's go. Okay, let's start off with this. Go, Shedinja! No! Okay, don't panic. Go, Patrat! Looks like Egon's been busy catching some more Pokemon since we last met him. This is Revolution Patrat.
Patrat!
No, it's Patrat, not Patract. Anyway, these guys are the scout Pokemon, and they were imported from Unova, not by purpose. They stowed away from their homeland via ship. Some Patrat even staying on their ship for generations, resulting in these forms. They're kind of a nuisance around here, often stealing food from other people and Pokemon, and working in large clusters in order to take down any enemy. Even to this day, colonies of Patrat invading ships and other regions is a common problem. So if you're on a boat, make sure to be wary of these scurvy sea dogs. Or rats, you know what I mean. No! No, I've got to win. I can't have him mad at me again. Go, Nightmare! Oh, it looks like Egon's evolved his ace Pokemon. Nightmare is the evolved form of Paling. It's the maiden Pokemon and it evolves from Paling at level 16. At night, this Pokemon glows brighter than any lamp, with its blood-red eyes and gem being a warning to anyone who would dare attempt to approach. On cold, dead nights, it is said you can hear the screams of this mournful Pokemon as it searches for its lost lover. No! 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 No!
How disappointing. I expected more from you, my boy, especially since this is what you always wanted, but I would be happy to point out your flaws. For one, you only have 3 Pokemon. Get good and get more. And for another, you don't have your Alcemon on you. Where was that Rock Eevee I personally gave you?
I put it in the PC because I didn't think it was that good.
Not that good? My boy, you're supposed to be advertising Alcemon. You're supposed to use one. After all, you'll be using an Alcemon to beat the champion.
I'm sorry, Dad, but I don't even think I can beat the champion, let alone any of these gym leaders, even if I did have an Alcemon. I'm just not that good. I don't think...
No, not that good. You talk too much. Don't you understand? I've put everything I have into betting that you will win this competition, and you will win. You will defeat scrawny trainers like this one in front of you. You will do it with an Alcemon, and you will do it because I said you will. Is that understood?
Yes, Dad.
Excellent. Now, I have no longer any time for you. You two, player, I have busy stuff to attend to. As punishment for defeating my child here, I shall present you with an advertisement. Here you go.
Dude, I'm fading fast.
Don't worry, dude. We just gotta fight it with coffee. Yoshida's coffee. Fight sleep, never sleep.
Don't have time for me. What else is new? Sorry, player. I can't follow your advice anymore. Dad's orders. I'll just have to try to get better on my own. Even if I don't want to. Okay, that was something. Anyway, now that that's been taken care of, let's head to that church before we get even more distractions. Blair, glad you could make it. We were just about to start without you. Indeed. I hope that Pokemon League challenge hasn't gotten too deep into your head. Remember, you're only using that as your cover. And as an excuse to improve his current team, might I add. He couldn't bring his current Pokemon with him. Besides, last I remember, you were the one who almost forgot a certain meeting we had after spending a couple days and nights researching. So, I don't really think you'll want to talk, Sarah. Well, I was trying to learn about you and the rest of the organization. Look, do you want to know what I've learned about these Alchemon or not? Yes. Yes, I would want to know. What you figured out? Well, long story short, me and the player came across something a while ago, and yes, it appears that Nicholas is aware of these Alchemon being released into the wild. Also, while doing a bit more research on these sightings of Alchemon, I have noticed that there have been a few reports of mysterious cloaked figures. People that were around at the same time these Alchemon were being spotted. Yeah, and their admin. One of their admins had an Alchemon. He used to be a student of Sky University, so I was able to interview his teacher. And apparently he didn't have a license, so I guess that proves that Team Prophecy could be behind all of this. Yeah, and me and the player here spotted one of Professor Nicholas's colleagues investigating that Alchemon. So, do you think that Professor Nicholas is allowing this? It's possible, but I wouldn't suggest bringing this up unless we had more proof. Well, if he is behind this, let's hope we can prove it sooner rather than later. The more Alchemon he conjures up out of nowhere, the more anxious I'm going to get. That brain-dead fool doesn't know what he's playing with. Sarah, I know your history with businessmen, but let's not get too hasty now. You still have your own mysteries to solve with these Alchemon, and I have mine. I just need to figure out where else to go from here. Yeah, alright. You know, forgive me if this sounds a bit crazy, but why not try asking William? William? Who's that then? Oh, he's one of the gym leaders of this region. He lives in Neotropolis and he helps run the museum there. He knows about iPad and he has helped us out before in the past. He knows more about legends, or in this case prophecies, more than anyone I know. It may seem a little bizarre, but this might be a good opportunity to find out what this prophecy, Team Prophecy, keeps going on about. Well, it's something. Thank you, Sarah. I'll see if I can get his attention. Just want to investigate another Team Prophecy base first. Player, I think I'll need you on the job for this one. We're pretending to do their little test, and that's the lie we're gonna stick with. There you go again, Luca, always getting up close in person with the action. And who do you think's doing all the research behind the computers? What would you do without me? But seriously though, don't mention it. Actually, while you're here, Luca, can you do me a favor? Oh, sure, just give me a minute. Player, you can get going now. I'll meet you at another one of Team Prophecy's bases when you're ready. Alright, Sarah, what can I do for you? Something that we won't be able to see in this arc, I'm afraid. However, now that we're getting some progress in this mystery, let's keep the flow going next time, as our journey through Revolu continues.